have. We have college basketball that's been going on since noon as conference tournaments continue to roll on. We have NHL tonight. We have NBA tonight. We have a lot to get to, so I'm coming on a little bit early for all those folks on TikTok, YouTube, Twitch, and Kick that joined us for our shows. Welcome. Hope you're having a wonderful work week. Hope you're having a wonderful Wednesday. The order of things, we've already given out some college basketball picks, so whether you find us on the SHARPZ app or you check out our Instagram story, our college basketball picks have already been out since early this morning. We're going to do NHL first, then we're going to back end the show with NBA and NBA player prop picks. So that's how we're going to do the order of things. As you guys know who join us every day, we give away our picks for free. I never charge for them. They never cost any money. We're going to do our research live on the show and then put our picks together up on the big board. Then I'm going to go bet them myself. For all those who want to follow, they'll be there. For all those who want to fade, appreciate you watching the show. But all of my picks are free every day. Just DM me on Instagram if you want to see my picks, if you miss any of them throughout the course of the show. Additionally, for all those that are new to Butt Fumble Sports, we're a sports content company created by a sports fan. For you real sports fans out there, make sure you hit the follow button. Make sure you subscribe. No matter the platform you're watching on, we do this almost every day, ranting about the sports world, talking about fantasy sports, and of course doing sports betting research. Love to have you guys as a part of the show every single day, so make sure you hit that follow and subscribe button. We have our big board ready to go. We're going to give away our picks. Like I said, we're going to start in the NHL. Only 4 games in the NHL, so I'm going to knock it, get it out of the way. Then we're going to do a lot of NBA today. NBA game picks, NBA player prop bets, so a lot ahead of us. If anyone is curious about my college basketball picks, already gave those away for free. They're on the SHARPZ app, and they're on my Instagram story. Butt Fumble Sports is my Instagram handle if you want to go check those out. Let's get into the NHL. Again, just 4 games on the schedule. First one, Kings and Blues. A lot of the money is coming down, a lot of the tickets, rather, are on the Kings on the money line. 95% of the tickets are on the Kings to win this game. The Kings are a road favorite. Blues are getting more action as the home underdog. The under is also getting a lot of action as well. Taking a quick look at some of the trends, I've already pulled these up. The Kings and Blues have played a collection of 8 times over the last few years, specifically in St. Louis. The record's been 4-4. However, the Kings have failed to win in 3 of their last 4 games in St. Louis. If we just dive into some of the trends over the course of the season, when the Kings have been a road favorite so far during the 2023 season, they've gone just 11-7. Of late, though, they've really struggled. Since December 7th, they only have 2 wins as a road favorite, despite playing 2, 4, 6, 8 games over that span of time. Now, they are playing a little bit better of late in the late month of February, but that said, Kings have not been nearly as good as a road favorite as I would like given the situation. Blues as a home underdog have gone 12-7. They've covered 4 of their last 6 games. They've won 4 of their last 6 games as well in that spot. Right now, am I really interested in any particular line for this game? If I were to take anything, I think I would lean towards the Blues to cover. A Blues plus 1.5 would probably be where I'd go for it on a side. But overall, I'm not actually crazy about this game. The one spot I actually want to take is I'd consider maybe taking the over, believe it or not. These 2 teams, after looking at the trends, when the total is set at 5.5, like it is for this game right now, the over's gone 3-0 for the Kings under that situation. When I punch in the Blues for a total of 5.5, the over has gone 3-1. Thanks so much, Sasser. Appreciate you supporting the show. Thank you so much. If I had any pick for this game, it's not a popular one, but I actually might go against the public tickets and consider an over 5.5. But overall, Kings and Blues, I'm not going to bet it. We went through the trends really quick so you guys could hear them. But overall, not a huge fan of it. By the way, Nicholas, I'm not actually betting that Cuse North Carolina State game. Cuse was getting a little bit more love than I was hoping for. I was hoping I could get North Carolina at a good spot. I didn't feel like I could, so I didn't take it. Let's look at the next game on the NHL schedule. Predators and Jets. Despite the Jets getting 79% of the tickets on the money line, the Predators are actually getting 57% of the money. So the money prefers the Predators in this game. Predators are a road underdog. Let's look at the trends for this game between the Predators and the Jets. These two teams over the last few years, we're going to look at how they've done against one another when they've played in Winnipeg. Interesting to note, the Predators are 0-4 in their last 4 visits to Winnipeg against the Jets. So far this season, when the Predators have been a road underdog, that's throughout the 2023 season, they've gone 9-9 straight up. However, they've been a phenomenal team since about December 15th. Since December 15th, the Predators have gone 2, 4, 6, 8. They've gone 7-2 over that span of time as a road underdog. So the Predators have been a really good team to take in that situation. How about as the Jets as a home favorite? How have they been since the start of the season as a home favorite? 20-6 overall. They've been a great home team. Total set at 5.5. I'm kind of interested about that as well. Let's take a look at how the Predators have done when the total's been set at 5.5. Specifically, I was looking at just since the start of the new year, but let's look at all season long. The Predators have played just 5 games where the total's been set at 5.5. They've gone 1-2. Interesting there. How about the Jets on the other side? Jets, when they've had a total of 5.5, man, they've played a number of games this season with a total of 5.5. They've gone 13-9. They've done very well over the stretch. Interesting. Another game where I'm just not seeing a lot of trends that really get me excited to bet this game. I wish I could tell you guys that there were trends that were all pointing in the same direction for the moment. The only ones that I'm really seeing that have me... I don't even like that. I was about to say maybe I like the under, but I really even don't like that. This Predators-Jets game, I'm sorry guys, we're 0-2 in terms of games I want to bet on. Between Kings and Blues, I didn't have a strong indication. The variables, the trends didn't all lean in a good direction. Predators and Jets, not that good yet as well. We will get to the NBA after this. We're going to do NHL first, then we're going to do NBA game picks and player prop bets. We're 2 games into the NHL schedule. Haven't seen a bet that I like so far, so let's go to Capitals and Oilers. So far for this one, Capitals and Oilers, 89% of the tickets are on the Oilers to win the game. 77% of tickets are on the Oilers to cover a 1.5-point home spread. Oilers are that home favorite. And the under's getting a lot of love. 92% of the tickets are on the under. 99% of the money is on the under. Let's look at this matchup between these two, Capitals and Oilers. When these two teams have met in Edmonton over the last few years, they've gone 1-1 against each other since 2020. Not too many matchups. Since 2018, the Capitals have gone just 1-3 over that span of time. Let's take a look at how the Capitals have done all year long as a road underdog. They've gone 9-16 straight up. They do have 3 wins in their last 6 games as a road underdog, but that came after a 6-game losing streak. They've certainly had their struggles. How about the Oilers as a home favorite so far this season? Oilers as a home favorite, they're on a 3-game winning streak, that after a 3-game losing streak, but they had been cooking really since the start of the new year. The Oilers have just been fantastic at home. With the Capitals not being a very good team so far this season, gives me some reason to believe that the Oilers on the money line might be the first bet that we're actually putting up on the board. But still, kind of want to play out this a little bit. Since the start of the new year, the Capitals as a road underdog have gone 4-9. They've averaged a total score of around 6.2, with them scoring just 2.7 goals per game. On the other side of things, I just want to really check one thing right here. The total for this game I'm seeing is set at 6.5. When the total is set at 6.5 so far this season, I want to see how the Oilers have done. 25-15. How about when they're a home favorite under that scenario? They've gone 14-7. Pretty consistent. I'm going to take the Oilers on the money line. That's going to be our first bet of the day that we're putting up on the board. Oilers are a pretty heavy favorite for tonight's game. -298 is what we're seeing. But so far, I'm not seeing too many hockey bets that I really like. I do kind of like taking the under in this game. Oilers, the Capitals have been a better under team so far over the last week and a half, but I don't like it enough. If I were to take it, it would be at like an under 7 goals, maybe under 7.5. Under 7's available at minus 215. I don't like it enough to really even put it up on the board. I'm sorry, but you guys know I don't just want one indicator to go in my direction. I want a constellation, 3, 4, 5 variables, all pointing me in the same direction. If I don't see it, I don't need to throw my money at something that I really don't have high conviction in. We've got one more NHL game to get to. Only 4 games on the schedule tonight. Avalanche and Canucks is the next one. Avalanche are getting 67% of the tickets on the money line. Avalanche are also getting 71% of the total money for them to win this game. Meanwhile, the spread is cut right down the middle at 50-50 in terms of tickets. Over is getting a little bit more love. 72% of the tickets are on the over. Let's break down this game and look at some of the trends between the Avalanche and the Canucks. Since 2018, these two teams have played each other 6 times in Vancouver, splitting it 3-3. They've gone back and forth, actually. Win-loss, win-loss, win-loss. The over-under has gone 3-2-1 towards the over. However, the under has gone 2-0 in the last 2 meetings between the two teams in Vancouver. Let's take a look at how the Avalanche have done as a road underdog so far this year. So far this season, Avalanche as a road underdog have gone 3-6, and they're actually on a 4-game losing streak as a road underdog. That said, interestingly enough, they're not marking them as a true underdog here on killersports.com. That said, the Avalanche on the road have really struggled, actually. Since the start of February, they've played 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 games, going 3-7 over that span of time. They've not been a very good road team over the course of the last few weeks. That's to say kind of an obvious statement, apparently. Let's take a look now at how the Oilers have done, how the Canucks have done as a home favorite so far this season. They've gone 17-7 over the course of the season. However, they've had their struggles recently as well, going just 2-3 over their last 5 games as a home favorite. Those wins came against the Jets, Penguins, and Kings. The wins coming against the Bruins and the Jets. Losses coming against the Jets, Penguins, and Kings. If I had to go in any direction for this one, the early take is to take the Canucks. I'm not crazy about it, though. These hockey games tonight, not the kind of indicators that I would have liked. It's a minus 105. I just want to see how, when the Avalanche have had that spread, a line of minus 105. They've gone 6-7. And they've won 6 of their last 7. The Avalanche, when they're in that spot, when they're on the negative side of the number on the line, they've done really well. Forgive me, I'm just looking at trends right now, trying to see if there's anything that we really like. I want to look at how the Canucks have done, the minus 115. Oh, got a punch in the Canucks, forgive me. Not Cabucks, Canucks. The under has actually come out as a better play than I thought over the last few games. Okay, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to take the Avalanche plus 1.5. I'll take the Canucks on the money line. Canucks on the money line. And I'm going to take Avalanche and Canucks on the under. Total for this game is set at 6.5. If I were to take the under's available under 7, under 7.5. So, those are our hockey picks so far today. We just have 4 hockey picks. Oilers on the money line, Avalanche plus 1.5, Canucks on the money line, and Avalanche Canucks under 7 or under 7.5. Jennifer, really appreciate you supporting the show. Appreciate all those that are watching. We are going to jump now into the NBA. We started with the NHL today. If you guys want to see any of my college basketball picks, they're already up on my Instagram story or on the SHARPZ app, so those should be available for everybody. Nate, thoughts on the Padres? The Padres made their effort to be an all-in team last year and it failed. I feel like the Padres are now just kind of fighting for relevance as a second-class citizen in the NL West, given that the Dodgers are so far out ahead of everybody. Jose, we'll get into the Lakers game in just a little bit. We're going to start with the games that are tipping off at 7 o'clock. I'm just getting killersports.com all ready to go. We'll switch on over to the NBA and do our NBA game picks first, and then we'll do NBA player prop bets, everybody. So we have the Nets and the Magic's going to be the first game that we're looking at. We'll look at them since the start of the 2023 season, how they've done against each other. Nets and Magic. That's with them as a road team. Okay, let's start looking at some trends for the NBA. Let's take a look at how they've done so far over the last 5 meetings between the two teams in Orlando. The Nets have gone just 2-3. They've lost their last 2 meetings against the Magic in Orlando, and the over's gone 3-2. By the way, forgive me, I definitely feel a little off, so I know I missed the show yesterday, but there's definitely a reason for that, so appreciate you guys bearing with us and hanging in there and watching the show. Okay, let's break some things down. I want to look at how the Nets have done. Again, we're going to focus on since the start of the new year, how they've done under various scenarios. Nets, since the start of the 2024 season on the road, have gone just 4-10. They're 4-10 against the spread. And maybe most importantly, after a road win, they have failed to get another road win. So they failed to go back-to-back on road wins at any point in the 2024 season. Let's take a look at Magic, how they've done at home in 2024. They've gone 9-5 straight up, 9-5 against the spread, and only once have they lost back-to-back home games as a favorite, or back-to-back home games in general. I like the Magic in this game. I do want to check a few more things before I officially put it on the board. I want to look at how the Magic have done all season long. When they've had a line that's been -7 or greater, like they have tonight, they have played 10 games with a spread of 7 points or more. They have gone 10-0. So the Magic on the money line are a phenomenal bet for tonight's games. Definitely a bet that I would be making. Magic on the money line, that's got to be one of our favorite bets of the night from what we're seeing. Magic on the money line, and frankly, the Magic to cover becomes a very good play. They have covered a 7-point spread or more 8 out of those 10 games. So really strong. I would also consider the under. The under's gone 4-1 in the last 5 games under this scenario. Let's quickly turn it around. And let's take a look at how the Nets have done when they faced a 7-point spread before we make too many assumptions about this being one of our favorite bets or if we want to take it on the spread. Wow. Nets, when they've had a 7-point spread or greater, they have gone just 2-10 straight up. 2-8-2 against the spread, and the under has gone 7-5. So that's where I'm going to come out on this one. I like the Magic on the money line. Magic on the money line is going to be the first pick that we go with for the NBA action tonight. Really like that. I'll also take the Magic to cover the spread, believe it or not. It opened at 7. It went to 7.5. It's since come down to 6.5. Really quick, let's check the injury report. Ben Simmons obviously not in. Jacob Gilyard is a game-time decision for the Nets, but other than that, everybody else is healthy. I really like the Orlando Magic. Let me take the Magic at, let's say, -3.5. That seems like a very good play to me. Magic -3.5 to go with Magic on the money line. I would also take Nets and Magic on the under. All the trends that we've looked at so far have suggested the under's a slightly better play. I know it said just 204.5. That is a little concerning. That's a very low total. In fact, let's do some work on that. When the total has been less than 205, equal to or less than 205. How have the Magic done? Magic haven't faced a total that low all season. Let's make it under 210. When the Magic have had a total of 210 or less, the under has gone 3-0. How about the Nets? When the Nets have had a total of 210 or less, the over has gone 3-1. But the average score was 206. 206 has been the total in those games. So I still like the under. Let's just get it above 206. Let's get under 209. Nets Magic under 209.5. That's what we're going to put out there. So for those who just missed it, I like Magic on the money line. Magic minus 3.5. Nets Magic under 209.5. Those are some good plays for that first game. Feeling excited about those. Let's get to the second game we have on the NBA schedule. For those that are new to the show, make sure you hit the follow button. For those watching on YouTube, Twitch, or Kick, make sure you subscribe. Really appreciate you guys being with us. Schnaggy's Thong, yep, the Canucks are at home tonight. Dante, really appreciate you being with us. Hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Just love talking sports with you guys every day, so I hope you guys are enjoying the content and obviously the conversation and the research. If you do have any questions, feel free to fire away. We're going to focus on our research. We're going to rapid fire through it, but if you guys do have questions, I'll do the best I can to answer them based on the research that we've done so far. Raptors and Pistons is the next game that we're going to be focusing on. Raptors are getting 59% of the tickets on the money line, but the Pistons 88% of the tickets on the spread. The Pistons are actually a 3.5 point favorite. The under is getting a lot more love in this one. 83% of the tickets are on the under. How about the injury report? Scotty Barnes is obviously out, but so is R.J. Barrett. R.J. Barrett is not playing in this game. Sir Thompson of the Pistons is out, but obviously Scotty Barnes being out is an important note here. That's part of the reason why the Pistons are the favorite. Let's look at Raptors and let's look at Pistons. How have they done against one another over the last few years? Really interesting. The Raptors are 2-4 in Detroit since the start of 2020, and they're 0-6 against the spread. So, even though the Pistons are a team that we don't think of as very good over the last few years, Pistons have covered the spread in 6 straight games at home against the Toronto Raptors. Really interesting there. That's why we do this research. Raptors, how have they been as a road team so far in 2024? They've gone 6-12 straight up, 11-7 against the spread. They are on a 3-game losing streak. Let's look at specifically how they've been as a road underdog over that time. They've gone 5-11 straight up. They have gone 4-0 against the spread in their last 4 games overall, so a little bit of concern there. The over has also gone 12-4. Let's flip it over and let's see how the Pistons have done at home since the start of the new year. They've gone 4-12 straight up, but 10-6 against the spread. They've actually won 2 of their last 3 games at home, covered 3 of their last 5 games. The under has gone 10-5-1. Not going to touch the total for this game unless something stands out in these next couple of seconds. But first, I want to look at how the Pistons have done when they've had a spread of 3 points. When they have been a favorite by 3 points, the under's gone 3-0. So we might actually circle back to that total in a moment, because when the Pistons have been a 3-point favorite at any point in the 2023 season, the under's gone 3-0. Let's swing it around here. Let's look at how the Raptors have done when they have been an underdog of 3 points. They've gone 7-25, 16-15-1 against the spread. The over/under, I'm not there. There isn't as much there to really go with. Yeah. So when they've had a spread of 3 points, it's not enough there for the Raptors. So let's just take a look at the total. It's the last thing I want to focus on before putting a pick on the board. When the Raptors have had a total of 232 or more, they've gone 16-25. Oh, am I missing something here? Oh, it needs to be greater than. when they've had a total of 232 or more, they've gone 7-18 straight up, 14-11 against the spread. The over has done decently well, though, 17-8. How about the Pistons? When the Pistons have been in a game that's had a total of 232 or more, they've gone just 4-23 straight up, 12-15 against the spread. The over's gone 14-12-1. If I had to go with any picks for this game, I feel like the Pistons. I feel like the Pistons are a good play. But I don't like them enough. No. This is a tough one for me, guys. I'm definitely on the fence on it. Part of me wants to take the Pistons on the money line, but I don't feel strongly enough about it, so I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to talk myself into it. That said, I do like the under in this game. That's something I'm going to put up on the board. Raptors, Pistons, where are we going to take the under? Open at 232.5, has pretty much stayed there. Not a lot of movement on this. I would take it under 236.5, under 237.5. 236.5, under 237.5. Those are both spots I would take. And that's probably where I'd come down on this game. Again, Pistons on the money line has my attention, but I really just like the under. I feel like that's my favorite play of this one. I'm not going to go chasing something I don't really need to. Let's go to our next game on the NBA schedule. Denver Nuggets and Miami Heat. To all those watching, no matter the platform you're watching on, TikTok, YouTube, Twitch, and Kick, I'm so grateful for you guys making time out of your day to watch our show. Make sure you hit the follow button. Make sure you subscribe. A lot of craziness going on with the platform community. Obviously, people are already mentioning to me how TikTok is potentially being banned. Whatever. That is something that's way above my pay grade. So if any of you guys obviously just want to watch our show every day, easiest way to do it is subscribe to all of our platforms. Instagram, YouTube, Twitch, Kick, TikTok, it doesn't matter. As long as you guys follow us, I'm going to be here all the time. So TikTok could go away. I'm not going away. I love talking sports too much to go away just because some senators and congressmen decide that a platform is going to go the way of the wildebeest. It's not going to bother me in the least. So, with that said, appreciate you guys being with us. And El Pinche, weird game, but Pistons -2.5 seems right. I feel like it is. I feel like Pistons on the money line feels like a good play. I just don't have enough conviction in it to put it out there. I wouldn't want to give you guys the impression that it's a play that I have a high confidence level in. And that's one of the reasons I'm not putting it up on the board. I always feel like I feel a responsibility in giving you guys picks. I want to give you picks that I really have a high conviction level in. So if it's really not there, I tend to back away. It's one of the reasons we don't have a lot of NHL picks up on the board for today. With that said, we're going to go to work now on the next NBA game, Denver Nuggets, Miami Heat. The Nuggets are getting 82% of the tickets on this game. They're getting 47% of the tickets on the spread, but 89% of the money. Mo, we'll give a recap of our picks right after we do this game. We're going to do this game first. Nuggets and Heat is one where I did kind of already look this one up, and you're going to be amazed by what we come out with the trends. But before we do that, let's look at the injury report. Jimmy Butler is a game-time decision with an illness. Tyler Hero's obviously out. Kevin Love is obviously out. Nobody other than that really stands out on the injury report. The spread for this game, it opened at 2.5 in favor of the Nuggets, then went to 4.5 and has since shifted down to about 3.5. Let's look at some trends for this game. First, we're going to look at how the Nuggets have done against the Heat in Miami over the last few seasons. And I'm telling you, this is a trend you're going to want to keep your eye on. The Nuggets have gone 5-0 in Miami against the Heat since 2020. And not just 5-0 straight up, 5-0 against the spread. The Nuggets have absolutely owned the Miami Heat when they've played each other in Miami, and that includes that finals matchup. So obviously they haven't played each other too many times there in Miami. But even since 2018, they've gone 6-0 straight up, 6-0 against the spread. If I extend that out to 2016, they've gone 7-1 since 2016 when they've played in Miami. Which sports bet is the best app? Like which sports book or which betting research app? Because I use the Outlier tool. That's the best research app. So if you guys are looking for what I think is the best place to do research and look up bets, it's the Outlier app. As for a sports book, I'll be honest, I don't have any sports book that I have a preference to. What I will often say to you guys is, don't be overly loyal to a particular sports book. They wouldn't be loyal to you. So find the ones that offer the best odds on the bets that you like. There are some places that offer better bets than others. There are some that are better at offering odds with certain sports. And what I mean by that is a better return on your investment, a better return on the bet. So don't be overly loyal to one sports book. If you're willing to give your money to one, what's the difference in giving your money to four, but finding the best bets each time? I know it takes a little bit of extra work, but that's what I would recommend. The moment I have a sportsbook sponsor, maybe I'll feel differently, but that said, I don't at the moment, and I think that you shouldn't be overly loyal to one particular sportsbook. That's what I would say. Okay, let's do some more research for the Nuggets and the Heat. Since the start of 2024, the Nuggets, as a road favorite, have played 8 games. They've gone 6-2 straight up. They've actually covered the spread in 3 straight games. The under's gone 5-3 over that span of time. How have the Heat done as a home underdog since the start of the new year? They've gone 0-4 straight up, 1-3 against the spread. There's a lot of reasons right now where I don't need to be slow on this one. I'm taking Nuggets on the money line, everybody. All the trends are pointing in the same direction. Nuggets on the money line. Right now, I don't have a great feel about taking them on the spread. I'd like to actually take them on the spread. I feel like 3.5 might be a little bit more than I'd want to. But let's take a look at a few more trends to see if that's something we want to do. When the Nuggets have been a 3.5 point favorite or more so far this year, they've gone 38-10. How about when they've been on the road? Under that scenario, they've gone 12-5 straight up, but just 6-10 against the spread. The under has been a slightly better play. Now, flip it over. How have the Miami Heat done when they're a 3-point underdog so far this season? At least a 3-point underdog. They've gone 7-15 straight up, 12-10 against the spread. The under, once again, has been a good play. So the under seems to be a good play as well. What's up, B in the building? I love it. So I like the Nuggets on the money line. I'm not going to take them on the spread. Just not enough there for me to have a high conviction level. I kind of like it. I would probably say Nuggets minus 1.5. Like that would be a bet I'd be willing to take. Nuggets minus 1.5 is available at minus 145. I would do that. Nuggets minus 1.5. I'd be fine doing that. I'd also take Nuggets and Heat on the under. Third game we've done. Third under play I'm going with. So I do like the under on this one. Right now it's set at 216.5. I get why it's set at 216. Those sports books. I want the total being above 220 at least. So I would take under 222.5. That's the spot. Under 222.5. That's the one I like. So let me recap all the picks we've given out so far. I'll even go through the NHL. We started with the NHL first today. Now we're into the NBA. We'll also do player prop bets once we finish up the NBA game picks. We went with the Oilers on the money line, Avalanche plus 1.5, Canucks on the money line, and Avalanche Canucks under 7 or under 7.5. Thanks so much, Mark. Appreciate the kind comment. As for the NBA, we like the Magic on the money line, Magic minus 3.5, Nets and Magic under 209.5. We have the Raptors and Pistons under 236.5 or under 237.5. We like the Nuggets on the money line, Nuggets minus 1.5, and Nuggets Heat under 222.5. So those are the picks we've given out so far during the show. We've got another NBA game pick to get to right now, and that's going to be for the Bulls and Pacers. We have 2, 4, 6 more NBA games to get to, everybody, and then we will do NBA player prop bets. Appreciate you guys being with us. Hope you guys are loving the show. Make sure you hit that follow button. Make sure you subscribe. And if you miss any of my picks, make sure you DM me. Make sure you DM me on Instagram to get every bet that I make. Isaac, yeah, I have felt a little something, but we're powering through, so you know me. I'm trying not to make myself into any kind of victim and just power through, give out picks like we do every single day. But you're probably onto something. Let's go to Chicago Bulls and the Indiana Pacers, but before we do, I will repeat the NHL for those that missed it, because I'm seeing some people asking about it. I like Oilers on the money line. Oilers on the money line. Avalanche plus 1.5. Canucks on the money line. And Avalanche Canucks under 7 or under 7.5. Jeff did a great job there of letting you know. Appreciate you, Jeff. Thanks so much both for hitting the follow button and obviously joining us. One Jeff followed, and one Jeff did a great job of letting him know my favorite picks for the NHL tonight. Again, I give out all my picks for free. I'm doing my research live with you guys now. Once I'm done with the show, I'll literally place these bets, and they will both be on my Instagram story as well as on the SHARPZ app. If you want any of my picks for free any single day, I give them out for free. They're never behind a paywall. Just DM me on Instagram, Buttfumble Sports. DM me on Instagram. You get every bet that I make every single day. Let's take a look at the Bulls and Pacers, everybody. Bulls and Pacers, 4-point spread on this game. Pacers are a favorite. Pacers are getting 91% of the money on the money line, but the Bulls are getting 86% of the money on the spread. So clearly, little discrepancy there. So far, the over is getting more money than the under. Under is getting the tickets. Over is getting the money, so we'll have to keep an eye on that. Let's dive into some trends, everybody, but before we do, let's look at the injury report. Injury report for this game. Doug McDermott's out. James Johnson, game time decision for the Pacers. Obviously, Patrick Williams, Zach LaVine, Torrey Craig. Torrey Craig's a game time decision, but obviously a number of Bulls out for this one. Let's dive into some trends, everybody. This is Bulls and Pacers in Indianapolis. Bulls and Pacers. Over the last few years when they have played in Naptown, wow, they played 15 games. Oh, I don't want that big a sample size here. We're going to go back since 2020. The Bulls have played the Pacers in Indianapolis 7 times, and they've gone 5-2 straight up. Interesting there. They've gone 4-3 against the spread. I just want to see really quickly, when the Bulls have been a road underdog in this scenario, they've gone 2-1. They are the underdog today, so we'll keep an eye on that. Now let's see how the Bulls have done as a road underdog since the start of 2024. We narrow the sample size down. They've played 12 games on the road so far this calendar year. They've gone 4-8 straight up, 6-6 against the spread, and the under's gone 8-4. However, since the start of February, since February 1st, the Bulls have actually been a very good team as a road underdog. They've gone 4-3 straight up. They've gone 5-2 against the spread. The under continues to be getting a bit more love and action, going 4-3 over that span of time. Let's take a look at how the Pacers have done as a home favorite since the start of the new year. In 2024 as a home favorite, Pacers are 6-3 straight up. But, again, against the spread, they're 5-3-1, and the under's gone 6-3. So early on, I can understand why the Bulls are getting some love as an underdog, and I also understand why the under might be a good play for this one. Let's take a look at the spread for this game and how the two teams have done under that scenario. When the Bulls have had a 3-point spread and they've been on the road, at least 3.5 points, it's happened 23 times so far this year. They've gone 7-16 straight up. But again, so far over the last few games, they've done a good job of actually covering the spread and winning a number of these games when they've had a spread of 3.5 points or more. Let's bump it up to 4.5 as I see it now. They've gone 5-14 straight up, but a lot of those losses came in either November or December. Only a few losses in January. Since February, this has been a much better team. Under's been there as well. Let's flip it over now and let's see how the Pacers have done when they've had a spread of that size. when the Pacers have been a 4.5-point favorite or more. Sorry, a 4-point favorite or more. They've gone 13-9 straight up. 10-11-1 against the spread. 11-10-1 on the over. Man, but the under's been a great play since January 10th. Since January 10th, they played 2, 4, 6, 8, 12, 10, 11 games since January 10th, and the over's only hit 2 times. So the under's definitely a play that we like for this game. That one I'll get to in a minute. I do want to take a look at what the total is, how they've done with this total. Total set at 229. When the Bulls have had a total of 229 on the road so far this year, they've gone 4-3 straight up, 5-2 against the spread. The over has gone 4-3. How about if I turn that around? They've had a total less than 230 on the road. Nothing really there. Okay, this is what I think for this game. I kind of like the Bulls to cover. I do like the Bulls to cover for this game. I would probably take the Bulls at like a plus 8.5. Feels like that's a really nice play. I can get that at minus 220 on BetMGM, minus 225 on FanDuel, minus 235 on DraftKings. That may not be appealing enough to you guys, so I'm willing to take the Bulls at plus 7.5. Yeah, I feel like it's going to be about a 6-point difference in this game. 6-point difference. That feels right. I like the Bulls plus 7.5. And I would take Bulls and Pacers. I would take it towards the under. Right now the total is set at 229. I like the under on this one. It opened at 233.5 and since came down. I like that 233.5 spot. I can get the 233.5. I really get 234.5, and that's what I'm going to take. Under 234.5. So just a repeat of that game's picks. I like Bulls plus 7.5, and I like Bulls Pacers under 234.5. Fourth game we've done, we like the under in all 4 of them so far. It's just how the trends are working out. If you guys want any of my picks, make sure you DM me early. Bud Fumble Sports, DM me early. That way you get all my picks. 10 speed, I think you're okay, buddy. I think you're going to be okay. DM me on Instagram if you want all of my picks every single day. Let's get to our next game now, tipping off at 8 o'clock. Thanks so much, Jennifer. I'm going to go Cavaliers, Pelicans as our next game. We have 5 more games to get to, and then we're going to do NBA player prop bets. Pelicans are a 5-point favorite. However, while they're 50-50 split on the money line, 89% of the money is on the Cavaliers to win tonight. 89% of the money is on the Cavaliers to win. And while 62% of the tickets are on the Pelicans to cover a 5.5-point spread, actually, they're not getting as much love on the money. The Cavaliers are actually getting 46% of the money to cover the spread. So the money seems to like the Cavaliers a little bit more than the public does. This game opened as a 7.5-point spread and has since come down to 5.5. Let's just take a look at the injury report. No major injuries for the Pelicans. They're mostly healthy. However, Max Strus is out for the Cavaliers, as is Evan Mobley. Donovan Mitchell is a game-time decision. That's going to be the big question mark for this game. Is Donovan Mitchell playing? That's what's going to define it. That may impact how we bet this game, not knowing whether he's going to play or not. So all of this is going to be predicated for the moment on the idea that he does play. Cavaliers, Pelicans, how have they done against each other in New Orleans? Over the last few years, the Cavaliers have gone just 1-2 in New Orleans on the road. Hope you guys are having a wonderful day. What's good, Bud Fumbler? Great to have you joining us today. Next, we're going to look at how the Cavaliers have done so far this calendar year on the road. They've actually just been a road underdog one time. That was since the start of February. in 2024, they've been on the road 15 times. They've gone 10-5. So Cavaliers have done a good job, but they have failed to cover the spread in 4 of their last 5 games. The under's been phenomenal for the Cavaliers. Under has gone 11-4 in their last 15 games on the road. How about the Pelicans as a home team in 2024? Pelicans at home this calendar year have gone 7-5 straight up, 6-6 against the spread. The under has gone 7-5. How about as a home favorite so far this year? 7-3 straight up, 6-4 against the spread. The under's gone 5-5 with the over, but the under's hitting 3 straight games. Once again, the under seems to be a better and better play as we look at it. Let's take a look at some of the data behind all this. Let's look at how the Cavaliers have done when they've been a 5.5 point underdog. When the Cavaliers have had a spread of 5.5, let's take a look at it whether it's been at home or on the road. They've gone 6-4 straight up. They've gone 8-2 against the spread when they have a spread of 5.5 or more. Their only losses came on the road to the Bucks, on the road to the Celtics twice. But other than that, and a loss to the Suns. So they have 4 losses on the road, but they've only failed to cover the spread twice, once against the Celtics, once against the Bucks. So kind of interesting there. As for the total, under's gone 6-4. Now let's flip it around. How have the Pelicans done when they've had a 5.5 point spread as a favorite overall this season? They've gone 20-3. Their only losses when they've had a spread of this size came in November and December. Since December 23rd, the Pelicans have not lost a game when they've had a spread of this size. In fact, they've covered the spread in 5 of their last 6 games, and the one time it missed, it was a push. So when they've had a spread of 5.5, they have consistently won. That said, the under's gone 4-1 in the last 5 games with that scenario. So it's a tricky one for me here. Part of me really likes the Cavaliers to cover. I would take that. I would take it at like a plus 8.5. It opened at 7.5. I feel like that's the right spot. I'd take Cavaliers plus. I can get them at plus 9.5, but I'll take plus 8.5 and plus 9.5. Cavaliers plus 8.5 and plus 9.5. I will put if Donovan Mitchell plays. That is impacting my thinking, obviously. Now, do I think he's going to play? I really don't know. I feel like if he was going to, they would have announced it already, but I have my doubts, so we'll see. I do like the Cavaliers, and I like the Pelicans once again on the under. Cavaliers and Pelicans on the under. And this is one where it's like, man, we're getting a lot of under plays today. Under's been a popular bet over the last few weeks. I like the under on this one. It's set at 217.5. It opened at 215.5. I'm happy that the line movement is bringing it up a little bit. I would take the over-under here at under 223.5. Under 223.5 for Cavaliers and Pelicans. Just a quick recap of the picks we've given out so far. I like Magic on the money line. I like Magic minus 3.5. I like Nets and Magic under 209.5. I like the Raptors and Pistons under 236.5 or under 237.5. I like Nuggets on the money line. I like Nuggets minus 1.5. Nuggets and Heat under 222.5. I have the Bulls plus 7.5. Bulls and Pacers under 234.5. Cavaliers plus 8.5 or plus 9.5 if Donovan Mitchell plays. And the Cavaliers and Pelicans under 223.5. We also did give out some hockey picks so far. I have Oilers on the money line. I have Avalanche plus 1.5. I have Canucks on the money line. And Avalanche Canucks under 7 or under 7.5. We have a few more NBA games to get to before we're getting into player prop bets. 3 more to be specific. Or 4 more. We have 4 more games. Let's get to Hornets and Grizzlies. 56% of the tickets are on the Hornets to win. 87% of the tickets are on the Hornets to cover a 2.5 point spread. Hornets are a road favorite in this game. Let's look at why. They opened as a 2.5 point favorite. They stay a 2.5 point favorite. Trey Mann is a game-time decision for the Hornets. As for the Grizzlies, Jaren Jackson's a game-time decision. Desmond Bane is a game-time decision. And Santi Aldama, he's a game-time decision as well. Desmond Bane working his way back. Glad to see that. Let's take a look at the trends for this game between the Hornets and the Grizzlies. When these two teams have met in Memphis, the Hornets have gone just 1-2 straight up, 1-2 against the spread. The over has gone 2-1. Nothing that stands out there. Let's take a look at how the Hornets have done on the road in 2024. 4-14 straight up, 6-12 against the spread, 14-4 on the underside. When they have been a road favorite, well, it actually hasn't happened yet. They haven't been a road favorite in 2024. Tonight will be the first time. As a favorite in 2024, it's only happened once, and they ended up winning that game but failing to cover the spread. So the Hornets in 2024, they are a favorite for just the second time all year. Kind of crazy there. Let's jump on over to see how the Grizzlies have done as a home underdog. Since the start of 2024, when the Grizzlies are a home underdog, they're 5-10 straight up. They've gone 9-6 covering the spread, and the under's gone 10-4-1. Once again, we're in another situation where the under is looking like a very good play. However, the total for this game is set ridiculously low at like 202. So I actually just want to see in the 2023 season as a whole, how have teams, what's happened when the total's been this low? This is the lowest total of the 2023 season. The 2023 season has not seen a game with a total less than 203. It's only seen 2 games with a total of under 205. The other one's the Nets and Magic. That tips off tonight. How about when we've seen totals under 210? We've seen 14 games with a total under 210. The away team's gone 7-7, covered the spread 9 out of the 14 times. The over-under has split at 7-7. So there's not too much data that we can take from that. I was just curious because those totals are ridiculously low. Now, let's look at how the spread's gone when the Pistons have been a favorite of 2.5 points throughout the entire 2023 season. Hasn't happened often, but the under's gone 5-0. When the Pistons have been a favorite of 2.5 points or more, the under is 5-0. Again, these trends are really standing out. Love the data that we're getting access to right now. So, if we look at how the Grizzlies have done when they've been an underdog of 2.5 points or more, 16-19 straight up, 26-19 against the spread. The under's been the better play overall. That's what I'm going to go with. I don't really like the spread or the money line on this game, but I like the under. It opened at 205.5, worked its way down to under to 202.5. I like it, let's say, at 207.5. That's what I would take. Hornets, Grizzlies, under 207.5. I'm just telling you guys what we're coming across. We're coming across a lot of good underplays. Do I necessarily root for unders? No, that's not fun. That's not sexy. But we have done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 NBA games. We've gone with the under every time. Six NBA games, we've gone the under every time. The trends are just favoring the under. I don't know what to tell you. Let's go to the next game on the schedule. Warriors and Dallas Mavericks. Right now, the Mavericks are getting 86% of the tickets on the money line, 83% of the money on the money line. However, to cover the spread, the Warriors are getting a lot of love. 72% of the tickets are on the Warriors to cover the spread. 93% of the money is on the Warriors to cover the spread. As for the total, 95% of the tickets are on the under. So the public loves the under in this game. We'll see if we like it as well. Let's look at the injury report for this one. Steph Curry is out for this game. Steph Curry is out once again. So, reason to believe that Warriors are going to have a tough time scoring. But it's going to be a clay game. Let's take a look at Warriors and Mavericks over the last few years. Again, massive grain of salt without Curry being out. Yeah, no Curry is a very big factor. Looking at the matchups over the last few years, the Warriors have gone 3-5 straight up against the Mavericks in Dallas, 3-5 against the spread. Additionally, the Warriors have actually failed to cover the spread in 5 of their last 6 games against the Mavericks in Dallas. The over has gone 6-2, with the over hitting in 3 straight games in Dallas between these two teams. Let's look at the Warriors on the road so far this calendar year. In 2024, the Warriors have gone 11-4 straight up, 12-3 against the spread on the road, but the under has gone 11-4, and the under is hit in 5 straight games. In fact, 2, 4, 5. The under is hit in 9 of the last 10 games that the Warriors have played in. So once again, the under's a very good trend. Let's see if that continues when we look at the Dallas Mavericks as a home favorite. Mavericks as a home favorite so far this year have gone 7-4 straight up, 5-6 against the spread, and don't look now, the under's another good trend. Under's gone 8-3. The under is hit in 5 of the last 6 games the Mavericks have played at home. Let's look at this spread right now. When the Warriors have had a spread of 7 points or more, how often has that happened this entire season? It's happened 3 previous times. They've lost all 3 games. The under's gone 2-1. Interesting. How about when the Mavericks have been a 7-point favorite or more? Mavericks as a 7-point favorite so far this season have gone 9-2 straight up, 7-4 against the spread. The over's gone 6-5. However, the under is hit in 4 of the last 5 games. This is where I'm going with it. I'm taking Mavericks on the money line. Mavericks on the money line is going to be the next bet we give out. I do just want to see the total for this. When the Mavericks have had a total of over 232, how have they done at home? Just curious. So the total is 233 tonight. I'll set it at 233. They've played 24 games under that scenario, 14-10 straight up. The under has gone 13-11. The under's hit in 4 of the last 5. So I do like the under. I'm going to take the under on this one. It opened at 236.5 and has come down to 232.5. I absolutely love the under. I'll take the under right now at under 238.5. That's Mavericks. Sorry, that's Warriors Mavericks. Warriors Mavericks under 238.5. We have gone through all these games and the under just keeps happening. The under has been a good play. We've got Nets and Magic under, Raptors Pistons under, Nuggets Heat under, Bulls Pacers under, Cavaliers Pelicans under, Hornets Grizzlies under, and the Warriors Mavericks under. Paul thinks the over is going to hit. Paul's taking the over. My running at 232. Yeah, we bought an alternative line. Under 238.5 is where we took the alternative line. We have 2 more games to get to, everybody. Hawks and Trailblazers. Will an overplay hit? The Atlanta Hawks are a 3.5-point favorite in Portland tonight. 78% of the tickets are on the Hawks. 97% of the money is on the Hawks. As for the spread, 89% of the tickets are on the Hawks to cover the spread. The under right now is getting a lot of love. Right now, 76% of the tickets are on the under. 90% of the money is on the under. Let's take a look at the injury report. Bogdan Bogdanovic is a game-time decision. Jalen Johnson's a game-time decision. Seth Lundy is a game-time decision. Obviously, Trae Young is out. As for the Portland Trailblazers, Shaedon Sharpe is out. Jeremy Grant is a game-time decision. Jabari Walker out. So, let's go and look at the trends. How about that, everyone? Next game we're looking at right now is Hawks and Trailblazers. Have these two teams done against each other over the last few seasons, just to see if there's any data we can take that's of value. Last few games they've played in Portland against each other. Hawks have gone 0-3 straight up, 1-2 against the spread. Not a lot of data there, but interesting. The over has gone 2-1. I am seeing the news. Calvin Ridley just signed with the Tennessee Titans. Didn't see that coming. Kind of a shocker there. Hawks, as a road team so far in 2024, have gone 4-8 straight up, 5-7 against the spread. The under has gone 7-5. As a road favorite, they have gone 2-3 straight up, 2-3 against the spread. The under has gone 4-1. So we're already starting out with the under being a good trend. How about the Trailblazers? Trailblazers as a home underdog in 2024. 5-10 straight up, 7-8 against the spread. The over is hit 8 out of 15 times. So 8-7 is the over-under record. Let's take a look when the spread is what it is. When the Trailblazers have a spread of 3.5 points or more at home, as a home underdog of 3.5 points, they've gone 8-18 straight up, 11-15 against the spread. The under has gone 14-12. They have the Trailblazers have lost 2, 4, 6, 8 straight games under this scenario where they have been a home underdog of 3.5 points or more. And in those 8 games, they've only covered the spread 1 time. Yikes. Let's flip it around now. And let's see how the Hawks have done as a favorite of 3.5 points or more. And specifically on the road. Hawks is a road favorite of 3.5 points or more. 6-2 straight up. Against the spread 4-4. Over-under has gone 4-4. I think the way I'm going to come out on this game is I'm going to take the Hawks on the money line. I do think the Hawks get the win. Under seems to be a good play once again. I don't have the same level of conviction on it. It opened at 219.5, went down to 216.5, has since climbed a bit. I'm willing to take the under. It would be under 223.5. So Hawks, Trailblazers, under 223.5. So another underplay. Another underplay. By the way, those games were probably with Trey. You're absolutely right, but we have to use the data that we have access to. I understand those games were without Trey, were with Trey, but at the same time, the Trailblazers have been a bad team, and the spread has suggested that the sports books have set both the Hawks up for wins when they've been a favorite of 3.5 points or more, especially on the road, and Trailblazers as a home dog. They've been losing that, so I kind of trust the way the sports book's setting it. Appreciate you guys being with us. We have just one more game in the NBA to get to. Then we're going to do player prop bets, everybody. Player prop bets have been hot, too. Okay, looking at Lakers-Kings. Lakers-Kings. So, right now, 76% of the tickets are on the Lakers to win. 99% of the money is on the Lakers to win. As for the spread, Lakers are getting 78% of the tickets with a 2.5-point spread in their favor. Lakers are a road favorite, and they're getting 93% of the money. As for the total, the under is getting 52% of the tickets. Now, I thought, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe Anthony Davis has never beaten Domantas Sabonis. Am I right about that? I thought that was a trend. Lakers, Kings, over the last few years, Lakers have gone 3-4 straight up when they played against Sacramento. They're 4-3 against the spread. The over-under has gone 5-2 towards the over. Over sitting 4 straight games. Kings played last night. I do know that we will be looking at how rest is going to impact that game. But first, we want to look at how the Lakers have done as a road favorite so far in 2024. It's only happened 2 previous times. They've gone 1-1 straight up, but they failed to cover the spread both times. The over did hit. How about the Kings? When the Kings have been a home underdog in 2024, will be the first time so far this calendar year that they are a home underdog. How about as an underdog in general? They've gone 5-8 straight up, 7-6 against the spread. But this is the first time that they are a home underdog. Very interesting there. We just talked about how the fact that the Kings are on the second night of a back-to-back. Let's take a look at how they've done on 0 days of rest so far this season. How have the Kings done on 0 days of rest? 5-5 straight up, 3-7 against the spread. The over-under has been 5-5 as well. How about the Lakers? When the Lakers are playing an opponent on 0 days of rest, 4-3 straight up, 3-4 against the spread. The over's gone 5-1. Do we finally have an overplay? Let's take a look at the injury report. Let's make sure we're not missing anything here. Kevin Huerter, game time decision. Trey Lyles out. Keegan Murray, game time decision. That's all I'm seeing for the Kings. As for the Lakers, Cam Reddish is out. LeBron James, game time decision. Anthony Davis, game time decision. Kings opened as a 2.5-point favorite and then became an underdog. So maybe you guys know something that I'm not seeing. Interesting. Very interesting. Let's take a look at that 2.5-point spread a little bit more. When the Lakers have been 2.5-point favorites so far this season on the road, they have gone 4-4 straight up, 2-6 against the spread, but the over has gone 6-2, and it's hitting 6 straight games actually. Let's flip it around now. When the Kings have been an underdog of 2.5 points or more all season long at home, first game they've played as an underdog of 2.5 points or more at home. As an underdog of 2.5 points overall, 5-9 straight up, 8-6 against the spread. The under has gone 7-6-1. If I had to go any direction on this, I would take the Lakers to win. There's something going on. You guys are right. There's something about this game. I'm willing to take the Lakers on the money. I'm not going to fall for the trap. I'm not going to take the Lakers on the money line. I'm going to skip it. Just feels like there's something going on there, but I'm going to skip it. I'll take Lakers and Kings, though. I'll finally take an overplay. Lakers and Kings, I will take the over. Right now, the over-under set at over 238.5. Let me just quickly make sure that that's not a terrible play for me. Over 238. When the Kings have played a game with a total of 238, the over's gone 8-1. Love it, love it, love it. I'm going to take the over in this game. And for Lakers, Kings, I will go over 233.5. So, let me recap all of my NBA picks that we just gave out over the last half hour plus of the show. Here's a quick recap. I like Magic on the money line. I like Magic minus 3.5. I like Nets and Magic under 209.5. I like Raptors Pistons under 236.5 or under 237.5. I like the Nuggets on the money line. I like Nuggets minus 1.5. I like Nuggets Heat under 222.5. I like the Bulls plus 7.5. I like Bulls Pacers under 234.5. I like Cavaliers plus 8 or plus 9.5 if Donovan Mitchell plays. I like Cavaliers Pelicans under 223.5. I like Hornets Grizzlies under 207.5. I like Mavericks on the money line. I like Warriors Mavericks under 238.5. I like Hawks on the money line. I like Hawks Trailblazers under 223.5. And I like the Lakers and Kings over 233.5. Appreciate you guys being with us. Let's do some player prop bets, everybody. So, some player prop bets we're going to look at for today's action. The way we do it, I always use the Outlier app, and I look at points, rebounds, plus assists, which matchups are most favorable for the evening, and then we dive into those. I actually have a couple that I already have that I'm actually going to put out on the board. These are a few that I've already researched. I really like Luka Doncic tonight. I think Doncic goes back over 30. So Luka Doncic over 29.5 points is the first player prop bet that I'm going to be giving out. Luka Doncic over 29.5 points. Let me show you why, guys. We go to Luka Doncic. So the Warriors are a terrible team when it comes to points allowed to point guards, 27th in the league. He has obviously gone over 29.5 points in 9 of his last 10 games. Again, if I drop this down to over 229.5, it's not a great play. You got to put a little bit of, you got to put it into some parlays. So I will mention that this is a parlay play. But I do think he hits this. This could be good for a same game parlay. I could see him going even higher. He has hit 30 points in 3 straight games against the Warriors. He's gone over 30. He's hit 30 points in 15 of his last 20. Again, this would be a parlay play. Let's take a look at some of these matchups. Do the Nets have a good matchup against the Orlando Magic? The answer is not really. Maybe Mikal Bridges on points, but that'd be about it. How about on the other side? The small forward position has a good matchup for the Magic. Let's take a look at Paolo Banchero. Small forward, he's got a good matchup when it comes to points, rebounds, and assists. When it comes to points, he's failed to hit 20 points in 3 of his last 4 games against the Nets, so that certainly stands out to me. How about on assists? Not very consistent there. He hasn't been as consistent against the Nets when it comes to some of his stats. Rebounds could actually be a decent spot to take him. Rebounds over 5.5. He's hit that in 12 of his last 20 games overall. 13 of his last 20 home games. At home, 6 of his last 10. It's not great. I do like it because of his history against the Nets. That's probably where I take this, is Paolo Banchero over 5.5 rebounds. That will be a play I put up there. I wish I liked him more on points. I don't for the moment. Let's take a look at some of the other matchups. It's really the only one that's great. Shooting guard has good rebounds. Point guard is good with points. Let's take a look at Jalen Suggs. From a rebound perspective, I know that's not a position you necessarily think, oh, that could be a good play, but let's just take a look at it. No trends there. Markelle Fultz, when it comes to points, set at 10.5. No, I don't want to bet on Markelle Fultz. I got to be crazy. What's up, Ranger? Hope you're doing well. Let's look at Franz Wagner. Small forward again. Good matchup when it comes to points. How has he done against the Nets? Very consistently, actually. He has hit over 18.5 points in 5 of his last 6 games against the Brooklyn Nets. His last 2 home games, he's hit this. Let's take a look at this a little bit more. Man, he hasn't been consistent on it at all, though. Thanks so much, Ranger. I wish I could take Franz Wagner at like over 16.5 points and feel good about it. But frankly, I don't. Over 16.5 points would probably be where I would take it. That's Franz Wagner over 16.5 points. I don't really love it. It's not a bet that I'm going to put up on my board. But I mention it to you guys because it does stand out as potentially a decent play. But I don't want to get too over the top with that. I feel like it's a bit of a trap. Just like a bit of a trap. Let's go to the next game. Raptors, Pistons. And specifically, we're going to look... Thanks, Ranger. Oh, you're helping me out with my live goals like the man you are. Appreciate you, dude. I'm setting a new live goal each time, so thanks. Appreciate you. Okay, Emmanuel Quickly. He's got a good matchup with points. Let's look at how he's done when R.J. Barrett hasn't been in the lineup when it comes to points. When R.J. Barrett is out, Emmanuel Quickly has actually gone over 23.5 points in 4 of his last 5 games. Thank you, Ranger. You're being incredibly supportive. Is this because we think TikTok's coming to an end, or... I certainly appreciate it, Ranger. Thank you so, so much. So he's hit this in 4 of his last 5 games without R.J. Barrett. On the road, 4 of his last 5 games as well. He has played 12 games without R.J. Barrett. He's hit the total on this 7 of the 12 games. I don't love it at 23.5. I'd probably take it over 19.5. That's been a really strong play. I'll take this actually though. That's Emmanuel quickly over 19.5 points. Not what I expected to be putting up on the board, but he's got a good matchup. It's quickly in the E's in there. But it is a good play. It is a good play. Ranger, what do you mean TikTok is coming to an end? They already voted? Yeah, they already voted. In the Senate, or in the House rather. We'll see if the Senate passes it. So, Emmanuel quickly, 19.5 points. That would be the next thing I take. Let's take a look if there are any good trends. The center position's got a good trend. But I'm not seeing a Raptors center. So let's switch it over. Let's look at the Pistons. Point guard, not a great matchup. Shooting guard does. Jaden Ivey on points. Jaden Ivey on points. Not a great trend. Just looking through our trends right now. Appreciate you guys being with us. Small forward position. Thanks, Jennifer. Appreciate you. You guys have been awesome today supporting the show. So I'm just doing my research, having a lot of fun talking to you guys. Cade Cunningham. Cade Cunningham's matchup is good with rebounds and assists. Cade Cunningham with assists is right now set at 8.5. If I brought that down to 7.5, it's hit in 5 of his last 6 games. It's been a pretty good trend. Thanks, Jennifer. At home, even better. This is one I'll take. I'll take Cade Cunningham over 7.5 assists. Cade Cunningham over 7.5 assists. Again, I want to check the injury report. Oh, without Osir Thompson. It's hit in 4 of 7 games. I wish that was a little bit stronger. He did hit this at home in his last game against the Raptors. So anyways, a couple of picks there. Again, a recap of the player prop bets we've given out so far. Luka Doncic over 29.5 points. That would be a parlay play. Paolo Banchero over 5.5 rebounds. Emmanuel Quickly over 19.5 points. Cade Cunningham over 7.5 assists. Let's look at the Nuggets and the Heat. Any good matchups for the Heat? Not really. Bam Adebayo on points, but you guys know Bam Adebayo has been incredibly inconsistent. Head-to-head, he's hit this very consistently. Okay, he's hit it consistently against the Nuggets. If we take it over 17.5 points, he's hit this in 8 straight games against the Nuggets. It's too good a trend to not take. Bam Adebayo over 17.5 points. That's too good a trend. That's what we call a lawn here at Butt Fumble Sports. Bam Adebayo has gone 8 for 8 going over 18.5 points against the Denver Nuggets. It's a good matchup. I got to go with it. Trends say it's a good play. Don't fight it. Let's look on the other side. Let's look at, Nikola Jokic, actually. Yeah, this is one of those nights where Nikola Jokic is playing Nikola Jokic. You don't get that too often. Nikola Jokic, obviously a member of the Denver Nuggets, the MVP, but also young member of the Miami Heat. Okay, any good matchups for the Nuggets? No, there is not. So I'm not going to take the Nuggets. The only one I'm taking from that game is Bam Adebayo over 17.5 points. How about Bulls and Pacers? Bulls and Pacers. When it comes to the matchup, Pascal Siakam has a really good matchup in this game. Let's take a look at his stats. Or his line. Pascal Siakam. When it comes to points, he's got a good matchup. Has him in a very consistent trend, though. It's set at 21.5. If I took it at over 18.5, at home, it's been a good trend. 8 of his last 10 games, this has hit. 14 of his last 20. Okay. Pascal Siakam over 18.5 points. Pascal Siakam over 18.5 points. No other trends that really stand out. Let's flip it over. Let's look at the Bulls side of things. DeMar DeRozan has a good matchup. Let's take a look at DeMar DeRozan. When it comes to points, he's got a good matchup. Against the Pacers, he's gone over 20 points in 4 straight games against the Pacers. His total right now is set at 24.5. I'd obviously buy it down to yeah, that's what I'd do. I'd buy it down to 19.5 and put it in some parlays. So DeMar DeRozan over 19.5 points, and I just put it into some parlays, everybody. That's another parlay play, along with Luka Doncic. Okay, let's keep going. This is one I just got to look at. Jared Allen, he's got a good matchup with assists. His assists has been a great trend. We failed on it last game, but Jared Allen over 1.5 assists is a great play. Jared Allen over 1.5 assists is like a great play as a parlay play. I'd also be willing to take it at 2.5. Over 1.5 is great for a parlay. Over 2.5, it's been really consistent. And then we bet on it and it missed. On the road, not as consistent. So maybe we just do it as the parlay play at 1.5. I'm willing to do that. But that's a 3-leg parlay. Luka Doncic over 29.5 points. DeMar DeRozan over 19.5 points. Jared Allen over 1.5 assists. That's a good parlay, actually. Any word on Donovan Mitchell? Still a game time decision. Okay, looking at the matchups really quick. Nothing else stands out from the Cavaliers side. How about from the Pelicans side of things? Small forwards got a good matchup. Brandon Ingram. Over 17.5 is, I wish it were better. It's not a good trend. It's not a good trend. Not taking it. Nothing for the Pelicans. Let's keep going. Hornets and Grizzlies. Next one that we're going to look at. Who's got a good matchup? Miles Bridges has a decent matchup. I like him more on rebounds. His last 20 games, 9 of his last 20, that's not great. Yuck. How about head-to-head? No. This is bad. This is bad. No Miles Bridges. Yep. No bets we like for the Hornets. No bets. That's all I'm seeing on the board. I'm not seeing too much for the Grizzlies. So we keep moving on. How about Chris Paul? Chris Paul has a good matchup when it comes to rebounds and assists. On the road, but without Steph Curry. That's what we care about. No Steph Curry tonight. When it comes to assists, nah, it's not good enough. You get it at 6.5, it's a good spot, but that's probably not attractive to you guys at like minus 310 on DraftKings. How about rebounds? Again, without Steph Curry. No Steph Curry. He's been consistently going over 3.5. So take Chris Paul over 3.5 rebounds. That's Chris Paul over 3.5 rebounds. Without Steph Curry, it's actually been a very good play. 14 of his last 20. 8 of his last 10. It's a good play. It's a good play. I like it. Okay. Any other bets that we like? Klay Thompson's got a good matchup when it comes to shooting the basketball. Without Steph Curry in the lineup this year, Klay Thompson's been right around 21, 19 points. If we took him over 18.5 points, 8 of his last 10 on the road, 4 of his last 5. And that one that he missed was against the Clippers, a better defensive matchup. I kind of like it, to be honest. Yeah, I like it. I'm going to take Klay Thompson over 18.5 points. Chris Paul over 3.5 rebounds. Klay Thompson over 18.5 points. Because no Steph Curry. We talked about Luka Doncic already. Thinking he's going to get to 30 points again. No other matchups that we really care for in that game. 2 more, everybody. Hawks and Trailblazers. DeJounte Murray. We like him on assists. Without Trae Young, on assists, he's been right around 7-8 as an average. His total right now is 8.5. Over 6.5. Nah, it's not good enough. Not a good enough trend. Not a good enough trend. I wanted to take it, but not good enough. Nope. Any other matchups that we like? The shooting guard. The shooting guard. Who's the shooting guard for the Hawks? It's Bogdan Bogdanovic. But he might not play. He's a game-time decision. He's got a great matchup. Guess we're not taking him. Guess we're not taking it. I don't really want to take the Trailblazers in this game, if I'm being honest with you. We'll look at if they've got good matchups, but I just don't want to. I just don't trust it. I don't trust it at all. Anthony Simons. Simons. At home. He's been consistently getting to 20 points. Over 19.5. It's been a good play. For 19.5 has been a good play. For 19.5 has been a good play. I'd do that. Anthony Simons. Over 19.5 points. Anthony Simons. Over 19.5 points. I'm not too crazy about the others. One more game. Lakers and Kings. Anthony Davis is a good matchup when it comes to rebounds and assists. Anthony Davis. Assists. He's hit this a lot for, over the last few games. 12 of his last 20 on the road. Not good, though. Head-to-head against the Kings. Not good. What about rebounds? Anthony Davis when it comes to rebounds. We want this not at 13.5. We want it at 10.5. Oh, that's what we want. Anthony Davis over 10.5 rebounds. Anthony Davis over 10.5 rebounds. That's been a really strong play, everyone. Head-to-head, really strong play. Anthony Davis over 10.5 rebounds. That would probably be a parlay play as well. Any other bets that we like? Final moments of the show. Sabonis. We like Sabonis. Domantas Sabonis on assists. He's got a great matchup against the Lakers when it comes to that. Head-to-head, not good trends, though. It would have to be at 6.5. It's a decent trend. I like it. I don't love it. 6.5. It's actually a really good trend. Domantas Sabonis, I'd take over 6.5 assists. Domantas Sabonis over 6.5 assists. What about on rebounds? Do we like him on rebounds as well? 14.5. Jesus. It's freaking crazy high. Wouldn't take it at 14.5. 10.5 I would. 10.5 is hitting 10 straight games. It's hit in 16 of his last 20 games, head-to-head against the Lakers. It's hit in 5 straight games. I'll take that. Domantas Sabonis over 10.5 rebounds. That's what we got, everybody. Those are the picks. Let me recap the player prop bets for you. Luka Doncic over 19.5 points. Paolo Banchero over 5.5 rebounds. Emmanuel Quickley over 19.5 points. Cade Cunningham over 7.5 assists. Bam Adebayo over 17.5 points. Pascal Siakam over 18.5 points. DeMar DeRozan over 19.5 points. Jared Allen over 1.5 assists. Chris Paul over 3.5 rebounds. Klay Thompson over 18.5 points. Anthony Simons over 19.5 points. Anthony Davis over 10.5 rebounds. Domantas Sabonis over 6.5 assists. And Domantas Sabonis over 10.5 rebounds. We also gave out hockey picks. Those included Oilers on the money line, Avalanche plus 1.5, Canucks on the money line, and Avalanche Canucks under 7 or under 7.5. Our NBA game picks were Magic on the money line, Magic minus 3.5, Nets Magic under 209.5, Raptors Pistons under 236.5, under 237.5, Nuggets on the money line, Nuggets minus 1.5, Nuggets Heat under 222.5, Bulls plus 7.5, Bulls Pacers under 234.5, Cavaliers plus 8.5 or plus 9.5 if Donovan Mitchell plays, Cavaliers Pelicans under 223.5, Hornets Grizzlies under 207.5, Mavericks on the money line, Warriors Mavericks under 238.5, Hawks on the money line, Hawks Trailblazers under 223.5, and Lakers Kings over 233.5. If you missed any of the picks that I've given out throughout the show, don't worry, I'm going to post all of them for free. DM me on Instagram, ButtFumbleSports. DM me on Instagram. You'll get every bet that I make every day for free. You never have to pay for them. I always have a lot of transparency. I want you to see them. Thanks, Jennifer. So make sure you guys DM me on Instagram. My handle is ButtFumbleSports. DM me on Instagram. I'll give you every bet that I make every day for free. That's our show, everyone. I hope you guys have a wonderful day of watching sports. Whether it's college basketball, NHL, or NBA, enjoy yourself. I hope you have a wonderful night. Stay healthy, stay safe, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow afternoon. Goodbye, everybody.